It's a story as old as time itself, or at least the launch of AEW. Rival wrestling promotion made official. Wrestlers ask for their release to join them. Get denied. Again and again. Put in back-shaving comedy storyline. Finally get released, and then do an interview on Chris Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast. The WWE tag team, formerly known as Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder of The Revival, are now called The Revolt, with the wonderfully pornographic names of Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, which they revealed in a tweet yesterday is actually a homage to Demolition's Axe and Smash. Dax and Cash, Axe and Smash. And they've now appeared on Jericho's latest podcast episode to tell all about their time in WWE and their plans for the future. And also confirmed that Vince McMahon and several top backstage producers really did want to repackage them as comedy rapping ninjas who wear bow ties and giant Flavor Flav clocks around their necks. I am so confused about what this gimmick is meant to be. It's like every bad idea ever vomited onto a mood board. And Dax and Cash agree, as they've not just confirmed these really were pitched to them, but that they were handed to us by Vince McMahon himself in a meeting with Bruce Pritchard and Dave Carano, where Cash laughed out loud in front of everybody and they were serious. They all had the faces on that they thought this was a good idea. They talked about the Usi hot stuff, where we showed we can do more than just be a serious tag team, we can do comedy and show different levels of charisma. We looked them in the face and said, these are not good, these are bad, but we will do these until our contracts expire. We'll do whatever you want. We'll give it 100%, we'll have fun. It will be fun, but there is no way we're re-signing. Before we get on with the rest of the episode, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to this video's sponsor.
Holly? Holly? What are you doing? I know what you're doing, Ollie. Why do you always do this? I'm so busy. I have so much to do. Every time we get a sponsored video, you always call me up. What is it that you want?
It's Raid Shadow Legends, Pete. Raid Shadow Legends is a fantasy RPG available to play on both mobile and PC for free, where you amass a team of heroes to fight clan bosses, battle against other players, and even play through the fully voiced campaign mode, all for weekly rewards. But how do you put together the best team? By choosing the ones that look most like WWE wrestlers, of course. Meet Dwarf Becky Lynch, Gala Longbraids. Lord Braun Strowman Champ Fort isn't finished with thee. And that time Finn Balor dressed up as a demon pumpkin, Harvest Jack. Test your WWE Avengers in the ongoing tournaments against the entire Raid community, while fighting in the Spider's Den, Ice Golem's Peak, the almighty Fire Knight, and the Notorious Dragon. And with patch 1.15 coming in May, you can compete in the brand new Arena Tournament, where you can earn points and win awesome rewards in the local and global fights. Download Raid using WrestleTalk special links in the video description below, and if you're a new player, you'll get 100,000 silver and the free rare champion Jotun, who also could be Braun Strowman. All this treasure will be waiting for you in the inbox, but only for the next 30 days. Please do at least give Raid a try using our links below, because it really helps support us here at WrestleTalk. Good luck, and I'll see you there. And now back to the Revival. After Dax and Cash told Vince they wouldn't be re-signing before taping an episode of SmackDown, which they claim was for a contract higher than the $750,000 a year deals it was reported they were offered, they were told the following Wednesday that we'd been pulled off everything going forward. I don't know if because we agreed to the gimmicks, it lost some of his hilarity to them. That would have been in February or early March this year, when WWE suddenly pulled the Revival from working house shows, remember house shows, and replaced them in the tag team elimination chamber match with the Lucha House Party. Dax confessed that he still didn't know whether Vince thought the gimmicks were actually a good idea, or he just wanted to bury them on their way out. They also said how this was indicative of WWE never treating tag team wrestling with respect, and that's one of the main reasons they decided to leave the company. This is nothing against Braun Strowman, but he steamrolled the entire tag team division, and then a 10-year-old won the titles at WrestleMania. And then no tag teams were featured at SummerSlam, and at the last minute they added the women's tag titles, which I'm all for, but it was so last minute that people didn't know. Make sure to subscribe to WrestleTalk and enable notifications, because Adam Blompier will have a full takeaways list video from the Revival Shoot podcast later today. But before wrestlers would tell all in shoot interviews on podcasts or in videos on our excellent new YouTube channel, WrestleTalk Interviews, go over and subscribe there right now, because we've got a brand new episode talking to Colt Cabana. They would dish the dirt and gossip using that old school medium of the written word, which is exactly what the Bella twins have done with the release of their autobiography, Incomparable, the Goddamn Hipsters. The book, which is out now, covers them growing up and becoming successful entrepreneurs and mothers and blah blah blah. But the most interesting thing for us is the juicy backstage happenings during their time in WWE. Gossip! Nikki was famously in a long-term relationship with John Cena during her wrestling run, where their engagement even entered WWE continuity when Cena proposed to her at WrestleMania 33. She said yes. But then, presumably because she couldn't see him, they called off their wedding just under a year later and separated completely soon after. But before Cena, around 2008, Nikki was in another long-term relationship with a wrestler behind the scenes, who she writes about in the book, only ever referring to him as the codename Brad, who was loud and hilarious and loved attention. He was always there to make everyone laugh with a smart-ass joke for every occasion, who is pretty much definitely Dolph Ziggler. And it turns out Dolph isn't just a show-off in the ring. Or I guess maybe it is still in the ring. Where Nikki writes she loved having sex with him. We had great chemistry in the bedroom, and he was still making me laugh. By that logic, I've had fantastic chemistry with every girl I've ever slept with, because they also can't stop laughing. But Nikki continues, saying their relationship was also a little toxic, saying that Brad, it's totally Dolph Ziggler, was a little cruel too. I was constantly left questioning the boundaries of our relationship with a big, what the hell are we? Brad knew how to hook a girl and then mind f*** her. After a year of hooking up, the two finally settled into a proper year-long relationship, but Nikki reveals that ended when she found out Brad had been cheating on her with someone else in WWE. Thanks for your support on Patreon, the Kessel Run DX Solo. This came out when she found messages on his MySpace account. That really puts a date on this story from another woman. The messages were from one of my closest friends at WWE, a girl who had come to San Diego to see my family with me 2 nights before she apparently banged my man for the first time. Brad and Nikki then ended their relationship, but they're still good friends to this day, where they've leaned into their past on Total Divas, with one totally not staged angle seeing Dolph, who may or may not be Brad, admit to Nikki he still has feelings for her. This also puts to rest the rumor that Cena stole Nikki from Dolph, which The Miz alleged in a 2017 episode of Talking Smack. Cena and Nikki didn't start dating until 2012, after John's marriage had ended, whereas Nikki appears to have dumped Brad for cheating around 2010. Nikki announced her engagement to Dancing with the Stars Artem Chigvintsev back in January. But she's not the only one who's found love, because Vince McMahon has a new big sweaty man to push. PW Insider is reporting that backstage officials are very high on Brendan Vink, because he's a tall person, which was seen in his slight repackaging this week, with MVP managing his team with fellow Aussie Shane Thorne, which was immediately followed by them getting their win back over Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. Apparently Vink has been a developmental project for a while with WWE, where they were using their pre-developmental promotion Evolve to build him up. Due to Steve Corino happenings though, they made the call to bring him up to the main roster for a long-term push, meant to be similar similar to Braun Strowman's initial split from the Wyatt family, which is totally obvious by his 3 straight losses before this week to the Street Profits, Humberto Carrillo, and Cedric Alexander and Ricochet since his main roster call-up. But not even suddenly starting to book a guy strongly that no one's been given a reason to care about is enough to turn WWE's ratings freefall around, as Monday's Raw saw its lowest viewership ever at an atrocious 1.68 million, down over 100,000 viewers from last week's 1.81 million. I know how they can turn things around. CM Punk will turn the SmackDown hacker confirmed. Last night's episode of WWE Backstage was hacked by the mysterious SmackDown Vigilante of Truth, where a video was played promising the truth will be heard, and a distorted voice saying, "Let the games begin." The clip of a passcode being entered on a phone is the date for this Sunday's Money in the Bank, hinting that the hacker will have some involvement with the SmackDown duo that they've previously promised to break up. But also interestingly, after previous teases have hinted towards Chad Gable, Xavier Woods and Mustafa Ali as the masked hacker, the video shared on WWE on Fox's Twitter account has the post, "Do I have everyone's attention now?" in mirror writing. It's been pointed out this is one of CM Punk's many famous lines. CM Punk hacker 110% confirmed! Who do you think SmackDown's mystery hacker is? Let me know in the comments down below, where I'll be replying to people from out of quarantine. Where I'll be saying it's most likely Ali because of the video package's recurring LED ring light motif, and that WWE on Fox's Twitter account loves to troll people. Mine, Laurie and Adam's Money in the Bank predictions are now live. Click the video on the right to find out why it's Otis who's getting pushed off the building, and subscribe to Parts Unknown and set a reminder for Quizzlemania 6 today, featuring returning champion Sean Ross Sapp and Steve from Steven Larson. And support WrestleTalk. Please do check out Raid using our links below, as it really helps us out. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.